So just so everyone knows what they call me, my name is Teacher Thea. That is Thea. But you can call me anything you want. You can call me just teacher, or you can call me Miss. You can call me Miss Thea. That's also fine. I'm not picky. Yeah. So yes, welcome to today's lesson. Before we start on the lesson, let me just introduce a little bit about who we are. Not who I am. I'm Teacher Thea. But I'd like to talk a little bit about who we are, or rather who I work, who the company I work for is. So we are Math Accelerator Center. We are a math specialist center, and our job is to help students with borderline grades. You're just a little bit away from jumping over to the next grade. We help you turn around your results in a short period of time. You can see our address here at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Our address is at 1 Marine Parade Central. We are in a building called Parkway Center on the 12th floor. So what do we do? Yes, we help students who are struggling to bump up just that little bit of grades. Oh, right. Sorry, for anyone who is late, my name is Teacher Thea. That is Thea. Yeah. Okay. So what was I saying? Yes. So what we do is we help students to improve their results, but we have a particular focus on problem sums. Specifically, we help to improve your understanding of problem sums and your confidence in tackling them. And we do that by demonstrating how they can be solved systematically and with particular strategies. Right. So let's move on to today's lesson. We'll be going over 3 different things today. First is the strategy that I call before-after. The first one is before-after same change. If you don't understand what that means, no worries. We'll be going through that soon. After that, we'll be going over before-after, but a different type of it. We'll be going over before-after equal stage. Finally, for the third strategy, we'll be going over the working backward strategy. After that, we'll have a few more difficult questions to do, just 2 of them. So before we start, let's just go over some ground rules. I've muted all of you, so you can't unmute yourself to say something. That's because there are a lot of you, and if you all talk at once, it will be quite noisy. So if you want to tell me anything, for instance, if you want to ask me a question, or you're answering a question that I have asked, you can just type in chat. So if you have any questions, please ask them. If I ask you a question, please answer it by typing in the chat. Also, please don't spam the chat. My chat box is only so big. I can only see so many messages at once. Finally, just make sure you listen and write down the solutions when I write them out for you. And hopefully we can have fun and learn something today. Right. So let's start with today's worksheet. Like I said, we have 3 strategies. So first, let's look at before-after. If you look at this page 1, you can see the strategy for before-after. Here, for step 1, we draw a model for either the start or the end. Which one do we do? I'll explain that as we go through the questions. Step 2, we draw a new model with any changes that happened between the start and the end. Step 3, we find the value of 1 unit, and then step 4, we solve for the answer. So let's have a look at question 1 for an example of how this strategy works. This is before-after same change. So this is the first type of before-after question. Question 1. When Diane and her mother both weighed themselves, Diane noticed that her mother was twice as heavy as she was. When they both weighed themselves again, each carrying a 6 kg bag, their total mass was 114 kg. So, do we draw a model for the start or for the end? Here we have 2 pieces of information, right? Over here at the start of the question says Diane noticed that, yes, Jaden, very good. Diane noticed that her mother was twice as heavy as she was. The second part of the question is after they both picked up a 6 kg bag. So this piece of information that it tells us here, their total mass was 114 kg. That is after they picked up the bag. So that's at the end. So when do we want to draw the model? We want to draw the model at the part of the question where you can see a relationship. In this case, the relationship is here, twice. That will allow you to draw the model because when you draw for Diane and you draw for her mother, you know that Diane should be only 1 unit, whereas the mother, who is twice as heavy, should be 2 units. That's why we want to draw the model at the start as opposed to at the end. That's because we have a relationship. So always look for words as this, like this. Twice, thrice, sometimes 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Words like this will let you know where the relationship is. Great. So we've drawn a model for the start. The next part is we draw a model for the end, which includes any changes that have happened. In this case, what change happened? Both Diane and her mother picked up a 6 kg bag, right? So obviously, if you pick up a 6 kg bag and then you step onto a weighing machine, you will weigh 6 kg heavier, right? So I add this little part here, 6 kg. Her mother? Yeah, yes. Sorry, yes, Jaden, that is, yeah. Right. So her mother, who is twice as heavy, also picks up a 6 kg bag. And then their total mass is 114 kg. Great. So now we drew a model for the start and we drew a model for the end, including whatever changes happened. So now we are done with the model drawing part. Now we can move on to solve the question. If you remember step number 3, to solve a before-after question, it is to find 1 unit. How do we find 1 unit? These are our units, right? So here we have 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units. How do we get 3 units? Well, the total here is 114, right? What is this a total of? It is a total of 3 units plus 6 plus 6. If we want to find 114, if we want to find 3 units, we can just take out the 6, right? These 2 6s. In that case, we want to do 114 minus 6, minus 6, because we are taking out the 2 6s. Can anyone tell me what this equals to? Yes, Jaden, very good. Yeah. Yes, Amanda. Jerissa, did you mistype? I think that number is higher than 114, right? So yeah, I think you might have mistyped that one. Yes, Jesse, very good. That's the right answer. Yes, Braden, very good. So you all are giving me the answer. This is 102. Yes, Javier. So 3 units is 102. If you want to find 1 unit, you can just divide by 3. Yes, Malik, very good. So we want to find 1 unit, we just divide by 3. Can anyone let me know what this one is? What is 102 divided by 3? Yes, Amanda, very good. That's the right answer. Not quite, Shati. I think that one is you divided by 2, right? But actually, I'm asking for divide by 3. Yes, Malik, very good. Yes, Jerissa. Yes, Shaden. Very good. The answer is 34. Oops, why is that so short? 34. Yeah. So if you divide by 3, you get 34. Very good. We found 1 unit. The question asks, what was Diane's mass? Diane's mass is just 1 unit, right? Yin Tang, if you have a question, you can just type it in the chat. That way I will see it. Unfortunately, I cannot unmute you. Yeah. Yes. So Diane is just 1 unit. So her weight will be 34 kg. Now, I didn't write my sentence statement, the answer. But if your teacher wants you to do that, you should make sure that you do that. Yeah. Right. So the answer for this question is 34 kg. Yeah, very good. So this is why this strategy is called same change. It's because both Diane and her mother got an extra 6 kg, right? So if you want to find 1 unit, you just take off that extra change and then you divide by, in this case, divide by 3. Sometimes the third equation, it says you do not have number. Oh, right, sorry, this should be 1 unit. Sometimes I just write U instead of 1 unit. If I just write U, that means 1 unit as well. Yeah, so that is the answer for question 1. I'll give you a bit more time to take it down, although I think most of you should have finished by now. If you need a little bit more time, you don't have to worry. You can stay back after class ends today and you can say, can you please show me the answer for whichever question it is? And then I will put up the answer again, right? But do we need to draw? Yes, you should, Shaden, because otherwise you will not be quite sure what to do or how to answer the question. Oops, I did not mean to erase that box. Right, so I think I'll move on in around 20 seconds to do question 2. Thank you, Jaden. I see, I see. Okay, so it's been about 30 seconds. I'm going to move on now. If anyone needs to, maybe I'll just give you another 10 seconds. If you need more time, you can just take a screenshot of this and then later you can have a look. Either way, I won't worry too much because after this, we will make sure that I'll make sure that I'll show you the answer again if anyone needs it. But we should also, I think, give you some recordings for the lesson. Right, so that is question number 1. Now let's move on to question number 2. Catherine and Melody had $214 in total. After each of them spent $25, Melody had 3 times as much money as Catherine. How much money did Melody have at first? So remember what I said about where to draw the model, right? You want to draw the model where yes, Shaden, where you see the relationship. In this case, the relationship is here, 3 times as much money. Is this at the start or at the end? This is after each of them spent $25, right? So this is at the end. So when we draw our first model, we draw it at the end. Melody, Catherine. Yeah, Jaden will be adding that later. Jaden. Yes, very good, Jaden. That's the right answer. So we draw the model here. Melody has 3 times as much money as Catherine. So Catherine will have 3 units. Sorry, Melody will have 3 units. Catherine will have 1 unit. So this is at the end. Now we need to draw a model for the start. How do I draw a model for the start? We know that each of them spent $25, right? So should I take off $25? I should not. I should not because I'm working backwards, right? I drew a model for the end and now I'm trying to get to the start. If I'm working backwards, I must do the opposite of what happened. Because at first, Catherine and Melody had more money, right? So it doesn't make sense if I minus 25 because that means they will end up with less money. Yes, very good. Very good, Danvasini. Very good, Shaden. You need to plus instead of minus. So again, we draw the same model, 3 units here, 1 unit here. But then for each of them, we add an extra 25. And now we get to the start. What does the start say? They had $214 in total. Now we can solve the question, right? Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. If we want to find 4 units, we take our total minus off the extra change, right? Minus off the extra money that we put here. Minus 25, minus 25. Can anyone tell me what this equals to? Yes, Jaden, very good. Yes, Shati, that's the right answer as well. I think you might have made a small calculation mistake, Jerison. You might want to check your working again. Yes, Danvasini. The answer is 164. Yes, Yintang. Yes. Oh, hold on a second. Javier, I think your numbers might be a bit mixed up. Yeah, the answer here is actually $164. So 4 units is $164. 1 unit is just this divided by 4, right? Can anyone tell me what 164 divided by 4 is? Yes, Shati, very good. Yes, Shaden. Yes, Javier, very good. Right. So the answer here is $41 for 1. Is that a bit small? Let me make it bigger. Yes, Jerissa. And yes, Kassen, 41. So what is 41? It is 1 unit, right? So this 1 unit here is 41. This is also 41. This is also 41. The question says, how much money did Melody have at first? At first means at the start, right? This is the amount of money she had at first. That is 3 units plus $25. 3 units, 1 unit is 41, right? 3 units is 3 times 41. Right. And then we plus 25 after that. Three times 41 will give us $123. Yes, very good, Shaden. Plus $25. If you add these two together, you will get 148. Yes, very good. Yep, I see you all typing in chat now. Very good. 148. So that is the answer for question 2. Melody had $148 at first. So hopefully this helps you understand a little bit on how you can do before-after questions, specifically before-after questions that are of the same change type. The next two questions we'll look at is not same change. It is different. So you can copy this down while I talk. But one last thing I will say is, how do we know we're looking at a before-after question? Basically, how do you know when to apply this strategy? Basically, if you're looking at a question and it tells you some information at the start and some information at the end of the question, then you're probably looking at a before-after question. Before-after questions don't just ask you, they don't just give you all the information at the start and then ask you to find the end. They don't just give you all the information at the end and ask you to find the start. They give you some information at the end and they give you some information at the start. Usually, these two pieces of information will be total and a relationship, like 3 times. So that is how you can recognize a before-after same change question. Right. So I think I hopefully should be able to move on now. If anyone is still lagging behind, of course, just take a screenshot, yeah? Or you can use your phone to take a picture of it. And then, oh, okay, Yin Tong, okay, sorry. Yeah, but yes, you can use your phone to take a picture of it, and then we can move on to the next question. Right, so I'll just give you around 10 seconds. Dawn? Sorry, Javier, I'm not quite sure what you mean. Oh, done. Right. Oh, of course. Right. Thank you so much. Can we recognize before-after questions by finding the word after? Not necessarily, because after just means that there has been a change. Lots of questions, you have a change. But just because you have a change doesn't mean it is a before-after question. Yeah. Can you use snipping tool? Yes, you can use your snipping tool. If you're on a Windows computer, you can press the Windows key, Shift, and then S. And then you can have an option to take a screen snip. Right. Anyway, let's move on to question 3. Sorry, not question 3. Page 3, question 1. This is now our second type of before-after strategy. Yes, Ankita? Twice as many. Yeah, there you. Okay, I see. Right. So I see that Jeresa has already focused on something important. Question 1. Kara has thrice as many chocolates as Mina. So this is very important. If we draw a model for them, we need to make sure Kara has 3 units, Mina has 1 unit. But okay, let's finish reading the question first. If Kara gives 39 chocolates to Mina, then both of them will have the same number of chocolates. How many chocolates did Kara have at first? Now, this is why this type of before-after question is called equal stage. That is because at some point in the question, whether it's at the start or at the end, your 2 or sometimes even 3 different people will have the same number of whatever it is. In this case, it's chocolates. Equal means the same. So that's why it's called equal stage. So how do we do these questions? Well, first, let's draw a model for the stage that is not equal. Actually, you can draw for either the start or the end here, because usually we want to draw where there's a relationship, right? Here, the relationship is thrice. Here, the relationship is same number. So you can draw your model either at the start or at the end first. It doesn't really matter for equal stage questions. Either way, let's draw a model for the start and the end. So at first, Kara has thrice as many chocolates as Mina, right? So Kara should have 3 units. Mina should have 1 unit. If Kara gives 39 chocolates to Mina, then both of them will have the same number of chocolates. So, how do we draw our model for the end? We know that they have the same number, yes, so we don't need to think too much about this. But the secret to how we should finish drawing our model lies in, yes, Jaden, very good. The secret to how we should finish drawing this model lies in the start. Here, Kara has 3 units. Mina has 1 unit, right? Kara is giving chocolates to Mina. So Kara will give some of her chocolates over like this, right? So how many chocolates does Kara give away? Well, she must give away enough. Yes, she must give away enough. Shaden, yes. She must give away enough so that the both of them will be the same. Here we got 3. Here we got 1. Can you see that? If I give away 1 unit, yes, Brayden. If I give away 1 unit from Kara to Mina, they will both have the same number now. Then Kara will have 2, Mina will have 2. Yes, Teresa. So actually, this is how we should finish up our end model. They have the same number of units, yes, but not just 1 unit each. They have 2 units each. So from here, we can solve the question. How can we solve the question? Because we know that Kara gave 1 unit to Mina, right? How many chocolates did Kara give? 39. Kara gave 1 unit. Kara gave 39. 1 unit is 39. Now, solving the question is simple. The question just asks, how many chocolates did Kara have at first? At first, Kara had like this, right? These 3 units. So you just, very good, Brayden. You just do 3 times 39. So Brayden has already worked this out for me. Can the rest of you try calculating this and telling me what you get? Yes, Shaden. Yes, Jerissa. Very good. That is the right answer. I'll just wait for one more person to give me an answer. Yes, Yin Tong. Very good. 3 times 39 is 117. So yes, Shiti, Kara has 117 chocolates at first. So that is the answer for question 1. So this is why it's a before-after equal stage question. Like I said, it is because either at the start or at the end, the stages will be equal. Yeah. Okay. I'll leave this for about, let's say, yes, thank you, Malik. Thank you, Davasini. Thank you, Elijah. Is that Elijah? Yes. And thank you, Jaden. Yeah. So I'll just give you maybe 20 seconds to take this down. If you're still not done taking it down after, thank you, Shiti. After that, then you can take a screenshot of this or a picture. And then we can move on to question 2. Oh, thank you, Jerissa. Okay, this is your last chance to take a picture because I'm going to be moving on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Thank you, Javier. Yeah, so let's have a look at question 2 now. Angela's bottle contained 3 times as much water as Callista's bottle. Callista's bottle contained twice as much water as Leah's bottle. After 500 milliliters of water was poured into Callista's bottle, and some water was poured into Leah's bottle, the 3 bottles contained the same volume of water. So the word same, that's how you know you're looking at an equal stage question. So let's highlight the important things. 500 ml of water was poured into Callista's bottle. Some water, we don't know how much was poured into Leah's bottle. That's not important. In fact, it is what we must find. Now you must focus on the model drawing groups. One for the start, one for the end. So here we have 3 people, right? We have Angela, Callista, and Leah. How are they related to one another? Angela's bottle contained 3 times as much water as Callista's bottle. Callista's bottle contained twice as much water as Leah's bottle. So if Callista contained twice as much as Leah, that means if Leah is 1 unit, Callista should be 2 units, right? So that is the first part of the model done. Second part, Angela's bottle contained 3 times as much as Callista's bottle. Callista has 2 units. In that case, how many units should I draw for Angela? Yes, Yintong. Jerissa, not quite, but that's right, Shaden. Because 3 times as much as 2, that is just 3 times 2, which is 6. Oops, wrong 2. So actually, Angela should have 6 units. Yeah, that is 3 times as much as 2. Okay, so this is our starting model. Now let's draw an ending model. Remember, the ending model will have any changes that happened in it. So what changes happened? Well, yes, very good. The end models should all be the same length. That is because they all had the same volume of water in the end. However, the question gives us more information than just that. The question also tells us 500 milliliters of water was poured into Callista's bottle, right? And then only after that, they were the same. Also, some water was poured into Leah's bottle. We don't know how much, but after that, again, they are all the same. So this is 500. This is question mark, is what we're trying to find. So you can probably already see something based on my model, right? How much is 500? This 500 is 4 units, right? Because Callista originally started out with 2 units, then she had as much as Angela, 6 units. That 500 must have given her an extra 4 units. In that case, if 4 units is 500 milliliters, can anyone tell me what 1 unit will be? Yes, Jayden, thank you. Very good. Not quite, Jiawei, but yes, Danvasini, that is the right answer. So 4 units is 500, not quite, Naomi, but yes, 400, sorry, 1 unit, 4 units is 500 ml. 1 unit is 500 divided by 4. If you calculate this, you will actually get 125 milliliters. Yeah, 500 divided by 4 is 125. Now, we want to find how much water was poured into Leah's bottle, right? That is this. We want to find this. How much is this? Well, you can probably see from the model that it is 5 units, right? It's 5 units. If you want to approach it from a more logical standpoint, Leah at first had 1 unit. After adding this, she had the same as Angela, 6 units. So from 1 unit to go to 6 units, you must plus 5 units, right? Sorry, Javier, I know I'm going a little bit fast, but we do have a limited amount of time today. If you want me to go a little bit slower, I can recommend you coming for our normal classes, which I'll talk more about at the end of today's lesson. Right, so this is 5 units. At first, Leah had 1 unit, then she had 6 units, same as Angela. So she must have plus 5 units. So what is 5 units? 1 unit is 125. 5 units is just 125 times 5. Can anyone calculate this for me and let me know what you get? Not quite, Navasini. I think you might have miscalculated just slightly for your tens place. Yes, Braden. Yes, Jaden. Yes, Jerissa. And yes, Shruti. And yes, Naomi. Very good. You get 625 ml. They asked you how much water was poured into Leah's bottle. This is how much water was poured into Leah's bottle. Yes, Malik. Yes, Yintong. And yes, Elijah. So 625 milliliters is your answer to question number 2. So yeah, this is how you do before after questions in general. We went over we went over same change first. Yes, Amanda, very good. We went over same change first, and then we went over equal stage. So hopefully you get the idea. One last thing I will say, you might notice that you can draw both your start and your end for equal stage questions on the same model if you really wanted to, right? You could just do this, and then you could just do this. If you want, you can do this, but I don't recommend it. It's because unlike me, you don't have, or you might not have 2 different colors of pens. If you draw everything on the same model, you might not realize, yes, Braden, you might not remember which one is start and which one is end, and then you'll confuse yourself. So if you want to make sure you don't get confused, you should draw 2 different models. That way you'll make it clearer which one is start, which one is end. Right. Hopefully this has been enough time for you to copy this down. I'll just give you another 10 seconds to take a screenshot or take a screenshot or take a picture, and then we will move on to the next few questions. Thanks, Jerissa. Okay, so I'm moving on in 5, 4, thank you, Javier. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, let's move on to strategy number 3 on page 4. So this strategy is called working backwards. How is working backwards different from before after? Like I said just now, before after involves you having information both at the start and also at the end of your question. Working backwards questions are not like that. You can see just by reading the very first sentence of question 1. Lilith had a piece of string. Okay, how long was the string? If we read on, we know that she used 40 cm of it to tie a friend's present and then cut the remaining string into 3 equal parts. But we don't know anything about how the string was before she did all of this stuff. So that is how you know it is a working backwards question as opposed to a before after question. Before after questions will have some information at the start. Working backwards questions have no information, 0 at the start. So how do we do a working backwards question? Yes, yeah, very good, Amanda, very good, Yintong. Working backwards question, as the name suggests, means you just work backwards. You start from the end. The end says each part, yep, Shaden. The end says each part, okay, sorry, this should be was, not of. Each part was 25 cm long. So what happened before this? Lilith cut the string into 3 equal parts, right? So working backwards questions means you look at everything that has been done, all the changes, and then you work backwards. You undo the changes. You do the opposite of what has been done. If Lilith cut the string into 3 equal parts, Let's do the opposite. Let's undo it. Let's put them all back together. If each part is 25 cm and you have 3 equal parts, if you put them all back together, your total length will be 25 times 3. As some of you have already said, this is 75. Yeah, very good, Amanda. Very good. Davasini, very good, Yintang. So we worked backwards and got rid of this step, right? We put all the parts back together. So no longer is it 3 separate parts. But there's one more change. Lilith had used 40 cm of it to tie a friend's present, right? So again, we are working backwards. If Lilith used 40 cm of it, let's put the 40 cm back onto the string. So we do the opposite of what has been done. We put the 40 cm back. Very good, Elijah. Very good, Jerissa. Means we just add the 40 cm back on. If I do this, I will get, as a lot of you have already said, 115 cm. Yeah, very good, Shati. Very good, Naomi. Yeah, and sorry, I missed one person. Oh, Javiel, yeah, I said. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Shati. Yeah, thank you, Davasini. Very good. So this is the answer for question 1. Not too difficult, right? 2 workings, no models. So I think hopefully this shouldn't take you too long to take down. Let's move on to the next question in 5, 4, 3, 2. Thank you, Jerissa. 1 and 0. Okay, let's move on. Question 2. Maya had some money at first. Oh, well, here we go again with absolutely no information. Some money. She spent $46 on a pair of shoes and $54 on a skirt. She then asked her mother for some extra money, and her mother gave her $35. In the end, she had $121. So first, let's take note of all of the changes, right? She spent $46. She spent $54. Her mother gave her $35. So these are all the changes that we need to undo. So we start here at the end. In the end, she had $121. First thing that we need to undo, yes, Shaden, we need to take away the $35. Her mother gave her $35. Let's take it back. So if we take away $35, it's minus. Can anyone tell me what this equals to? 86. Yes, Davasini, very good. If you work this out, yes, Shati, you will get $86. Yes, Amanda, very good. So we know that before her, yes, Naomi, we know that before her mother gave her $35, Maya had $86. But that's not the end. She spent $54 and she also spent $46. Step by step, let's give all of that money back to her. $86 plus $54. Can anyone tell me what this is? Hold on. Yes, very good, Elijah. That's the right answer. Very good, Jerissa. Very good, Naomi. This is 140. So now we've, very good, Shaden. Yeah. Now we've taken away her $35. Now we've taken put back her $54. There's just one last thing left to do. Put back her $46. Can anyone calculate this one for me and let me know what the answer is? Very good, Jerissa. Very good, Naomi. Yes, Yintong. Very good. Oh, Shizi, that was for previous part, is it? Right. The answer here is actually $186. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Malik. Yeah. So now we have finished all of the changes. We are back at the start. So the answer for question 2 is $186. At first, Maya had $186. Yeah. So as usual, we are just working backwards. We just undo everything that has been done. Hopefully this one is not too difficult. Right. So I think I'll move on in about 10 seconds. This should be relatively, thank you, Jerissa. This should be relatively easy to copy down, but if not, you can always take a picture. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, let's move on. Oh, thank you, Javier. So now we are moving on to the last page of the worksheet, which is page 5. These are the higher order questions. Oh, right, sorry. This should be she. I don't know why it's he, because Lyra is a girl here. Right, so a stall sold cups at $2 per cup and plates at $3 per plate. Lyra spent a total of $180 buying an equal number of cups and plates. Part A asks, how much did one cup and one plate cost altogether? This is the easy part, right? We can see here, one cup costs $2. One plate costs $3. Very good, Jerissa. In case anyone doesn't know what the per means for everyone. So $2 per cup means for every one cup, you pay $2. Yeah. So very good, Amanda. Yeah. So one cup is $2. One plate is $3. Total cost of this is $5. Yeah, Yin Tong, very good. Very good, Shitzi. Right. However, that was the easy part. Now we must look at, yes, Naomi, very good. Now we must look at part B. How many cups and plates did he buy altogether? Braden, you're missing one step for part B. 36 is the number of sets, not the total number of cups and plates. Right. So if you caught what I said just now, this is actually a sets question. That's a number of sets, Elijah. Why is it a sets question? We know that, what is this $5? This $5 is one cup and one plate, right? Lyra spent a total of $180 buying an equal number of cups and plates. Yes, Braden, very good. So if we ignore the amount of money she actually spent, the equal number of cups and plates means that the smallest number she can buy of each one is one cup, one plate. We know that she must have bought some, like more than that. If she bought 2 cups, she would have bought 2 plates. If she bought 3 cups, she would have bought 3 plates. We don't know how many she bought, but we know the total. So 1 cup, 1 plate costs $5. How many $5 are there in 180? We can just do 180 divided by 5, right? This will tell us how many groups of $5 are there in 180. Very good, Braden. Very good, Shaden. There are 36 groups of $5 in 180. So what is this 36? This 36 is the number of $5, right? In other words, it is the number of sets of 1 cup plus 1 plate. So if you have 36 groups of 1 cup plus 1 plate, that means in total, you must have 36 cups and 36 plates. Yeah, very good, Yintong. So if you have 36 cups and 36 plates, the question asks how many cups and plates did she buy altogether? You just take 36 plus 36. Yeah, very good, Shitty. Very good, Elijah. Can anyone else work this out for me? What is 36 plus 36? Very good, Naomi. Very good, Malik. Yeah, the answer here is 72. So that is your answer for question 1. Lyra bought 72 cups and plates altogether. Right. So as usual, I'll give you a bit of time. Yes, very good, Javier. Very good, Amanda. So I'll give you a bit of time to take this down, and then we'll move on to the next question. So let's say about maybe 15 seconds. If you've already been copying down, you should have most of it down. If you haven't yet, you can take a screenshot so that you will know what to do. Yeah. Very good, Davasini. That's the right answer. Thank you, Jerissa. Let's see. Your part A is correct, Brayden. Your part B is not correct. Right. So it's been about 15 seconds. Let's move on to part 2. Question 2. Faye paid $142 for 67 kg of rice. She paid with 4 $50 notes. How much change did Faye receive? I'm sure you all learn money, so I won't need to take too much time on this. But change is just how much money you give minus how much money you pay, or how much money the thing that you bought costs. So how much did she give? She had 4 $50 notes, right? Yes, Amanda, very good. That means she had $200. So she gave $200. Her purchase cost $142. So to find how much change she gets back, we just take how much she gives minus how much it costs. This will give you $58. Very good, Jerissa. So that is your answer for part A. Once you get onto part B, very good, Shati. Very good, Amanda. Yes, very good. Oh, hold on. Jaden. That is not correct for part B, I think. Yes, Yin Tang, very good. Right. So Faye received her 67 kg of rice in 17 bags. Each bag of rice was either a 2 kg or a 5 kg bag. How many 5 kg bags did she receive? So this is actually a guess and check question. We have to guess number of 2 kg bags. We have to guess number of 5 kg bags, right? Yeah, sorry, though. Yeah. Not quite, Brayden. Not quite, Shaden. Hold on, let me have a look at this. Right. So we have to guess the number of these bags. And then we have to guess the total, or rather we have to check the total weight. Because we know the total weight should add up to 67 kg, right? So let me just make 4 columns here. So here are my 4 columns. The first is my guess for the number of 2 kg bags. The second is the weight, amount of weight my guess would have. Then the next 2 columns are the same thing for 5 and 2. Very good, Brayden. Not quite, Shaden. Then the total weight is just 5 kg plus 2 kg weights put together. So let's just take a random guess. Let's first guess 7 2 kg bags. If there are 7 2 kg bags, there are 17 bags in total, right? Very good, Jaden. Very good, Brayden. So there should be 10 5 kg bags. 10 plus 7 makes 17. So 7 2 kg bags, the weight of that is 14 kg. 10 5 kg bags, the weight of that is 50 kg. What is the weight? 50 plus 14. 64. Is that what we want? No, right? We want 67 kg. So this is wrong. So we have 64. We want 67. Let's increase our number of 5 kg bags then. Because if we increase our number of 5 kg bags, our total weight should go up. So if there are 11 5 kg bags, I'm just plussing by 1. Then we should have 6 2 kg bags. Remember, the total must always be 17. 6 2 kg bags, that is 12 kg. 11 5 kg bags, that is 55 kg. Total weight, 55 plus 12. 67 kg. We got it. This is the same as the amount of weight that we actually have. So this is our answer. Or rather, this is the correct guess. What is the question asking us for? It's asking us for how many 5 kg bags. You can see here from our guess, it is 11 5 kg bags. So that is our answer for part B, 11. Just a guess and check. I think this is something that you should all be kind of familiar with. Right, and with that, that is the end of these questions. So I'll just give you like 15 seconds to take a screenshot or to copy this down. And then we'll move on to just a few. Thank you, Jerissa. We'll move on to just a few more things I have to say at the end of all this. Right, 15 seconds. All right, it's been about 15 seconds. So I think I will just clear this now and move on to my closing statements. And clear. Right. So like I said, we're done with the questions for today. We had 4 different things, right? We had before, after, same change, before, after, equal stage, working backwards, and then higher order questions. So which strategy, including higher order questions, did you all think was the most difficult? If you thought it was 1, you can type 1. If you thought it was 2, you can type 2, so on and so forth. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Oh, okay. That's interesting, Shirti. But you managed to solve like all of them, if I recall correctly. So actually, even if they are difficult, you still were able to do them, yeah? I see a lot of 4s. That makes sense. It is the higher order questions. These ones are more difficult. I see 2 for before, half, after, equal stage. Yeah, this one can be a little bit difficult as well. Anyway, so yeah, that I just wanted to know what you all thought was the most difficult. Thanks, Naomi. Thanks, Davasini. So obviously, if you have more of this, you can always improve. I don't know if you'll have end of year exams at the end of this year, but next year you'll have to start worrying about your streaming for P4, right? The better you do for end of year, then the better class you get put into in P5. So if you're thinking that far ahead, you might want to think about enrolling in our classes for next year. We have our 2022 class schedule. If you want to find out about this so you can enroll, you can always just click on this link. I'll type it in the chat for everyone now. Here is the link. If you click on this link, you'll end up here on this page. You can just fill this in. Fill in your name or your parent's name if you ask your parent to do it. Email or your parent's email, your parent's phone number, and your message, which can be you asking us, what is your lesson schedule like next year and can I sign up? If you want, you can also ask about other things like, do you have any special programs going on? Sometimes we have a few special programs, which are like a lot shorter. So you can go ahead and ask that if you want to as well. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you all for coming today. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email us at this email address or send us a message on WhatsApp. You can also visit our main website, which is www.parkwaymath.com in order to go there. Yeah. So yeah, thank you all so much for coming, and hopefully I'll see you next week. We have another lesson next week. Thank you, In Tong. Thank you, Brayden. Yes, have a good night, everyone.